welcome to Feel Better Eating. This is a whole food plant-based experience that has the intention to educate you about the health benefits of eating plant-based recipes, inspire you to try new recipes, and as always, Catherine, the third one is...
have fun.
Woo! Today is a very simple recipe. It's one that we've been eating a lot of recently. I guess we go through chapters of what we eat, and this has been on the menu pretty consistently the last few weeks, so we thought we'd share it with you today. I think it's a banger.
Yeah.
It's very versatile, satiating, and it's a staple, I think, for a lot of people eating a plant-based diet full-time, because it has a lot of protein in, it's satiating, and as I said, it is versatile. You can use it in lots of different ways. Mm-hmm. So, welcome to the show. My name is Joshua, this is Catherine. Catherine, how are you doing today? Welcome.
I'm great, thank you. I'm really excited to share this recipe. As Joshua said, it is a staple in our household, and it is so delicious and easy. It doesn't have to be as complicated as it may look with all these ingredients. So we are going to make it the healthiest version that we can for you today, and more of the traditional rendition of the recipe.
So what are we making?
So today we're making falafel, which I've heard a few people in the audience have not tried before. And I've even asked my neighbor, I said, have you ever had falafel? He said, no, I've never even heard of it. So it's really special to be sharing this recipe with you guys because it is really delicious, and you're gonna see how delicious it is today.
Right, let's get into it.
Okay, so falafel. The base of falafel is chickpeas, and it's not a cooked chickpea, it's just a pre-soaked chickpea. If you use fully cooked chickpeas, you're going to have a soggy falafel. It's not gonna work out for you. It's gonna be too moist and too overcooked. So I went ahead and filled my jar with chickpeas or garbanzo beans, and these have just been pre-soaked. So they've expanded from their original size, and we're gonna be using these today as the base.
2 cups.
Yeah, but it's gonna be, you're not gonna want any extra water.
No extra water.
No, you're gonna wanna drain the water. We wanna make these as dry as possible because if you're unfamiliar with falafel, it's usually deep fried, but today we're baking it. And when you're baking it, well, you want the falafel to be crispy. That's the ultimate goal, is that it's gonna have a crispy outside and a nice tender inside. And so having the falafel not having the chickpeas pre-cooked and having all the ingredients as dry as possible is what we're aiming for here.
There you go.
So we'll just do 2 cups of these, I would say.
That's what the recipe says.
Yeah. It's kind of confusing about the recipe that I found, as if it's 2 cups dry and then soaked, and then you use all of those 2 cups dried and then soaked. But at home, when I'm just making it for me and Joshua, I just use 1 cup of pre-soaked chickpeas, and that's enough to make us about 3 to 4 each. Oh, I forgot my special tool. Oh well, we'll figure it out.
Oh, the little coffee thing, we can use one of them.
Yeah, we'll just use something
Next up, we got going in is an onion.
Yeah,
This is actually a shallot.
Shallots. We have not used shallot yet on the show. Have you guys used shallots before with cooking?
I like shallots. I don't know how to describe the difference.
They're definitely stronger. I feel like they have stronger flavor, and they do make I feel like they're more prone to making you cry, but maybe that's just in my head.
No,
but they always come in pods of 2, and they look like, well, not always, but they always come in like multiple pods. I never had like a shallot just like on its own. And it's kind of like a red onion, but it's really stronger.
Yeah, it's nice.
When you make like French onion soup, and you're using like a variety of different onions, shallot is one of them.
Yeah.
So, can you break that up a little bit more? So at home, when I don't have shallot or yellow onion or white onion, I just use spring onions from the garden. I get a 1/2 cup of spring onions and I put that in there instead, and that worked out really well as a flavor change.
Intensifier.
Yeah, an oniony taste without this type of onion in it.
We also grew shallots this year as well, which is cool. They were nice, weren't they? Little small ones.
I feel like the skin's
You don't like that bit?
No, I don't think it's gonna...
Really getting rid of all that?
I just don't think it's gonna go well. Do you feel the texture of it? Sometimes the skin doesn't blend as well as I want.
So you want more in... I'll just do this one forward.
Okay, that's fine.
Why not?
Okay, so as I said, we're just putting it all in the food processor. Next is gonna be 6 garlic cloves. That seems like a lot. I don't know why I put that there. Oh, because it's 2 cups. You can customize this as how strong of a flavor that you want it to be. In my head, chickpeas are the vector of all of the herbs and spices that actually go into it. Like, chickpeas don't taste
base.
like anything. Yeah, so they're just a base vector for onion, garlic, and the herbs that we're about to be putting into
Right,
it.
we'll put 4 in, that seems reasonable.
That seems reasonable. We don't want to like...
6 seems aggressive.
Yeah, like I usually put like 2 in and my breath smells all day, so...
Yeah. Kiss avoidance factor 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it really works for pickleball. It keeps the competition away.
It does,
They're
yeah.
like, ooh, she stinks.
Get rid of them. No pickleball today, is there? Rained off?
Yeah.
Sad times.
Okay, so as Joshua finishes preparing the garlic, we're going to be using some lemon zest. I've used lime zest before, just anything citrusy that you have. So I'm just gonna like break this up and hopefully get some zest from it. Ooh, it smells very fragrant. I love this. So as I do this, do you remember the history of falafel that I shared
They come
with
from
you?
Egypt,
Supposedly,
allegedly.
this is a controversial history per usual. I feel like every single time we Google the history of a food, they're like, well, it's heavily debated actually where it comes from. So
Well, it's hard to pinpoint exactly who invented falafel.
yeah.
It comes from Egypt, and then it obviously spread as trade did, and now it's very heavily associated with like Israel, the Middle East. It's a staple food over there.
In the Mediterranean. as well.
Mediterranean. It's quite widely used actually, and it's very popular in plant-based eating because, as you're going to taste, I don't know, how would you describe the flavour of it, and why do you think it's popular?
I think the crispiness of the
Yeah.
outside is really appealing.
It's kind of like a chicken nugget in a way without chicken.
Yeah, and it's just so flavor dense that it is so good with like on a bread or as with
In
rice.
like a wrap, yeah.
Or with rice that we're about to share with you
Yeah,
today.
we do rice, yeah.
So if you go to like Mediterranean restaurants, they'll have falafel
Nearly always, yeah. Well,
on the
actually
menu.
always.
Yeah.
If they don't leave.
So this is like about maybe a teaspoon, but I'm not like gonna go hack at everyone. It's fine.
That seems good. I mean, it smells very fragrant.
So we'll get that in there. Originally, as well as they said, instead of chickpeas, they would use
Fava beans.
And the reason that they think that it was invented was because when people don't want to eat meat during Lent, they'll have this instead. And
you
then
go.
they reckon back in the day it wasn't deep fried because
Oil was too expensive.
yeah,
We're going to be putting some baking powder in here.
just half of a teaspoon.
That'll help them rise a little bit.
I think it's for dryness as well. I've actually never used the baking powder, but
Really?
yeah, at home we
Wow.
don't have a baking powder, so I've never actually used it, but it should be fine.
And then we're going to be adding in the seasonings here. This is where
Yeah.
it can be very versatile because you can change these to suit whatever you want. And the chickpeas really will take up a lot of flavour. So we're going to cane them in. What we got there, coriander.
And usually when you get falafel from the store, it's like, I mean, from restaurants, I guess you can get it from the store.
Okay.
It's like brown on the outside because it's baked, and on the inside it's usually green because of all the herbs that go into
Yeah.
it. So today we're using parsley and cilantro. That's usually the ones that are in falafel, but our parsley and cilantro didn't grow. You
As
can
well.
use the stems, it's
Oh.
fine. It says just stems and leaves, just put it in.
Get it in.
Our cilantro and parsley didn't grow as well, so we actually used Thai basil and oregano,
And that's been really nice.
and it worked really well. It tasted delicious. So whatever herbs that you have, just experiment with it and see how it turns out. It will probably be good. I know it looks like we're putting like a ton of herbs in here, but
Which we are, but...
that's what it calls for.
And we're going to be doing 2 tablespoons of cumin in there.
Because it's literally like 2 cups of herbs for every 1 cup of chickpeas that you put in. It's like super flavorful, this.
Yeah, it's very fresh.
so I hope that it's gonna blend.
Oh, it will blend.
We'll see what happens in a minute. So you just put the, what did you just put
Cumin
in?
in there.
Oh, cumin.
Cayenne. This is for the spicy side, so we're not going to we'll put one of these in for the sake of the audience, trying to make it too hot.
Oh, it's closed. Yeah, I usually put quite a bit of cayenne in. I like when it turns out spicy.
You do like it spicy.
I love cayenne.
But we'll just do...
And then just a bit of sea salt we're putting in as well.
Yeah.
Oh, the water is boiling.
And then we're going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of olive oil into this mixture, correct?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
So the oil will help it in the baking process. Crispen up the way that we want to, and
it will also help with the blending as
yeah,
well.
I usually cook these on my cast iron, so I make sure my cast iron's oiled before I bake them as well. But in this recipe, it calls to cook it on parchment paper, and they suggest that you do drizzle oil on it, but honestly, I feel like they crispen up without the extra oil on them anyways.
Do you want to get the rice on while I do this?
Okay, yeah, so he's gonna blend that, and then we're gonna get the rice started. We're just using a basic jasmine rice here, but non-GMO, because we found out that rice can actually be pretty GMO heavy. And we're just following the instructions on the back of the rice, so.
Super easy.
Super easy.
But not for me, I'm not very good. I use the pressure cooker for rice.
Yeah, it turns out to be gummy for me.
It's my Achilles heel, white rice.
Joshua says he's got like.
I'm hexed.
With burning it.
With white rice. Right.
But honestly, it is very simple. So I'm just gonna add 2 cups of rice to our hot water and a little bit of oil.
Yeah, and I'll blend this.
And that's ready.
The oven's preheated to 400 degrees for these. It's getting pretty close, isn't it, that?
Yeah, so you're blending it to not be like a complete paste, but you want it to be sticking together.
Like that. Maybe a bit more.
Do you want a spoon to get really on the bottom there?
Sure. I mean, I think it's getting pretty close.
Yeah. I just find like sometimes the bottom collects in bigger chunks. It looks really good. As you can see, it's very green.
Very green.
Because of all the herbs.
I think that's pretty good.
All right, well, let's go for it then.
Yep.
So at home, we had an espresso machine that broke. So I have these like little perfect size metal cups for stuffing with falafel and then plopping them on the plate so I get a nice uniform falafel.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it is about like,
It's probably about
it has
half
to be
of that.
smaller than a fourth of a
Probably
cup.
about half of that, yeah.
But we don't have an eighth of a cup today.
We'll just do half of that.
Or I could just do a tablespoon.
Yeah, do a tablespoon. That'll cook faster.
But it's easy with the metal one because I can stuff it and then I turn it over and
Smack.
smack it. It's actually
Oh.
Ooh, plop goes it out. So then you just keep going. I mean, this is gonna be delicious.
Smells good.
Yeah, it smells really good. Really low.
What do you mean?
It's not even simmering. So this sauce seriously could not get any simpler. We're just taking a pure coconut, organic cultured coconut yogurt, which just is coconuts, water, cassava root, and a vegan probiotic culture.
Scoop that out.
You want an unflavored yogurt obviously with this, but I feel like it could work with,
Vanilla.
no, definitely not. It'd be gross.
Strawberry.
Now you're just trying to get a rise out of me. There's also plant-based cream cheeses and sour creams that I think would work with this as well. Just that are herby that I think would be good, but just with this yogurt. Oh, you really have come a long way over there. Okay. So that's about good. What do I got there? I've got like about half a cup of yogurt in there. Oh geez, my hair is there. And then all I'm mixing in with it is pickle juice. So this is pickle juice from home, and because I had an abundance of pickle juice at home, and it doesn't have preservatives in it, which I really like, and it's flavored with herbs, dill, mainly dill, pickle juice, and garlic. And so it's a vinegar mix that has dill flavoring and garlic flavoring in it.
It's really good. What are you gonna just drink?
No, it's just like, it stinks. It stinks like pickles. So we're just putting pickle juice in it. So, I mean, after you're done with your pickles, save your pickle juice in your jars because it's so useful in recipes.
You use it for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I use it to make even more pickles or pickle other things like
Yeah.
cabbage and carrots. So it's something that I love to hold on to. It just seems like such a waste to dump it down the sink. So basically the pickle juice not only adds a dilly garlicky taste to the yogurt, but it also thins it out so that you have a more pourable sauce from the yogurt. And the thing I love about doing a yogurt sauce as well is that it's raw, and so you don't cook away all the probiotics that are in the yogurt that are so good and healthy for you. So while you're eating this recipe, you're also helping your gut bacteria, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna keep adding pickle juice until I get to the consistency that I want. So as you can see, it's nice and like drippy, creamy. It's like just a creamy sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, and there you go. I mean, you could add extra fresh dill if you have it, but it's such a strong flavor, the falafel, that you want to keep things actually pretty neutral that you're serving with it, because it just becomes too overwhelming. Lemon? You could add lemon to it.
On the recipe.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's because I wanted to not just waste the lemon. We can add a little bit of lemon juice.
Add lemon in.
Good call, Tracy. Thank you. I was just going off pure instinct because I don't usually use lemon juice at home, but we'll just do a little bit in here. Does this lemon not have seeds in it? That's weird.
Right, there you go. Shalom.
Great job, honey. So I don't think we need to drizzle those with extra olive oil. I think we'll just put them in the oven for 10 minutes and see how they turn out. Okay, so when you go out to eat and get a falafel plate or meal of such like we're making today, it's usually served with fresh vegetables. What was that? Does I make noise? And so usually it's with something like a fresh tomato and fresh cucumber, sometimes maybe some lettuce greens, and then like because they serve it with hummus, they'll usually give you some like carrots or stuff like that. So today we're giving you just a fresh basic side of tomatoes and cucumbers. We have so many tomatoes just like this at home that it's like we fill up like a pint a day. So these have been perfect to serve with our falafel at home. We've gotten a few cucumbers this year. Not that many.
3.
We ate one fresh and I pickled 2 of them. And we found another one on the way because our zucchini died, so they're like getting new life. So we're just gonna prepare these for you.
How do you want them? Slices or?
Yeah, just sliced, please. So I think in general these are the vegetables that they serve with it. Cucumber is a really popular one. There's actually like a cucumber sauce that you can make that's popular in Mediterranean dishes, and that's
what's the name for it? It eludes me.
Can't remember. Or you're just gonna do it along the side. That's so you know how they can sometimes serve rice.
Looking nice.
Looking nice. A nice little uniform dome.
Oh no. 2 little runaways.
We need it to be perfect.
Right, put that.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's good. And then you're gonna put.
And then we'll drizzle.
Oh,
Drizzle.
lovely. That's what you do.
All right. Let's get these served up.
Do 3.
Okay, get Should we do the most pretty ones like that side or this way?
That's fine.
This way?
That way, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, look at that, guys!
Drizzle it with this.
Alright,
yeah.
here we go. The yogurt sauce. Dun, 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 dun. I would put it over everything.
Go on.
Well, for presentation wise, I don't think that's
Sure,
the best.
Kevin.
Well, should I bring it around or do you think this will be okay? Can you just zoom in on it there, Kev?
Yeah, but just make it.
Yeah, like that.
That looks good, like.
Yeah, that looks nice. It looks so fresh. That's why it's like a nice lunch, because it's not overwhelmingly filling and whatnot, but it's really pretty.
Well, that's hot there, like.
Yeah,
Woo! That's been falafels.
Oh, I'm not quite sure.
We haven't decided on that. But that's what they are. Very tasty, very versatile, and super easy to make. Really, very straightforward. You can mix this up any flavors that you want: rice, wraps, salad, whatever your heart desires.
Yeah,
really, I
true.
encourage you to try different variations and see what you enjoy. But we appreciate you being here. We encourage you to try this recipe. Catherine, any final remarks?
I hope you saw how easy this can be and how fun it is to experiment with new foods.
And this recipe, as always, will be on the website feelbetterliving.com, and we'll see you next time. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to all of our show sponsors and supporters who make this show possible. The Healthcare Foundation of LaPorte, Grace Learning Centre, Citizens Concern for the Homeless, and ALCO, Access LaPorte County. We appreciate all of your support.